part of it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
All right, bet.
Alrighty, guys. It is your girl Renny, and I am here. I always call people by the name that their mother gave them.
Right.
I know you pop up in my DMs as Uzi. Your little like contacts like, do you want to save him as Uzi? And I'm like,
like,
no,
are you sure?
No. Do you like when people call you Ousmane, or you? No?
I definitely prefer it. It's
You
just
do?
That, yes.
Oh.
Most people just don't pronounce it right, so I
Did
just
I
give
pronounce
them.
it
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that was perfect.
Okay.
Like, I don't
What do
know
they
how
say?
you guys
Ousmane?
are right. Ousmane, Ousmane, Ousmane. So there's just like, yeah. So it's just like I never liked. You know, once you correct people a lot of times, you just get tired of it. So it's just like, call me Uzi for sure. Oh, Uzi sounds so much cooler. It's easier too.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I mean, Ousmane, I definitely prefer that.
Okay, that's awesome because I definitely prefer my own name. People like to call me Ren. Don't like that one.
Your name's
Renny.
Renee.
But yeah, okay, so I'm glad we're good on that. But I will leave all your socials down below. You have a lot of socials. We're here to talk about all the socials. So This is what we're doing today. But Ousmane, I feel like we've known each other for at least 2 years. I feel
a very long time.
Yeah.
If it was 2 years, it's been a long 2 years.
Yeah.
Honestly. Because I was just like, yo, I don't even remember exactly where it started, but I just knew, like, from the get-go, I fucked with you. Can I cuss in this thing?
Yeah. Okay, you're good.
If that, like, I just fucked with you. I was like, yo, we have the same energy.
Yeah.
Like, you saw my childish ambitions, not childish side, but I also had ambitions and stuff, and it was just like, yo, like, you could relate. You also wanted to do a lot of things as well, and I feel like at this point of my career, I could tell the difference. Whether somebody's like lying to me, like, oh, yo, I want to do this, this, and that.
Not even lying, but just like. Not even lying, but some people are just too people are just like sometimes too ambitious, and you could just tell that like they've never done it before and don't have the work ethic behind what they're saying.
Right. And it's like, if you can't tell me why you want it, like some people, they just say, I want to be rich, I want to do this, I'm gonna do this, like you overwhelm yourselves with like the mission of like what you want to do,
right,
but you don't even know like where to start. And it's like
you're not even in the space that you should be for starting, or the headspace.
Exactly. So it's just like when you were just like, oh, you were hustling, you were going everywhere while we were talking on the phone. You were driving places. And just, like your mind was everywhere. And it's just like, you could tell that entrepreneurial mindset when it's just like you have a lot going on, you know, to multitask, and you're not breaking pressure. You told me about your stories and how you handled them. Like a lot of people would succumb to these things, which is understandable, especially being a black woman. But you always had your own. You always like had your own back. So it's just like,
I think what you were saying about like the why part, I think that's so important, not only just to know where to go, because you could have your why and really not know where to go and not have any mentorship or anyone to look to show you where to go, right? But I think when you have your why, that's where the work ethic comes in, because you don't fight, you don't grind, you don't do anything if there's no purpose behind it. If you're
exactly. I feel like people are even scared of their why, like what it would take, like like the challenges you have to face, the amount of scrutiny you'll have from your own people, because a lot of people, especially black people, I would say, don't like to see other people shine within their own community.
Within their own community.
So it's just like, and that's like part of why I started my page. It's like we have to uplift, we have to like structure our own community.
Especially black women.
Especially black women.
Oh my God, it's so frustrating that we don't do more uplifting because of how amazingly unique we all are. No offense, I've got white family, I've got white friends, and I've had white ex-boyfriends. Right. We like white people here, okay? Exactly. No hate.
At all.
Y'all look a little similar. So what I'm saying is, if y'all can uplift each other when we're so unique and so different, and like, why can't we just realize that there's enough room?
It's because what we think is everyone's a competition. Like we're all like battling ourselves. Like, why do we all have to make it alone? Like it's just like this individualistic mindset that's posed in our community, that we have to just do everything on our own. We have to like fend for ourselves. We can't like work as a community and come up together, because that's just impossible. I'm like, how is that impossible? So that's kind of like why it was really hard for me.
Realizing what makes you you and what makes you do the things you do will make it so much easier. And if you share that with others, you could inspire them as well. So
share what you want to share. But like, you have to realize people, their minds, everybody's minds changes all the time. So it's like, just say what you want to do. Like, maybe some people that you're following don't really fuck with it. Maybe they do. But like, at the end of the day, people, like, I started my businesses and stuff. Like, people were like, why do you keep posting about your businesses? What are you doing like that?
Oh, you're
and
so
now,
like promo-y.
Right. But like, now it's like, oh, you're inspiring. I love what you're doing.
Now
you're
it's
so
like, can
amazing.
we collaborate? Why?
Exactly. So it doesn't matter what people think, because they're always constantly going to change. Maybe they like me at first and they don't. Maybe they like me, they don't, and then they'll like me again.
Right.
I'm not going to focus my time like trying to make everybody like me. But at the same time, I'm going to carry this specific persona. And I'm going to post exactly what I want to share.
So how long ago did you start the page?
July 31st, 2017.
Okay.
That's been 2 years and 10 months, almost 3 years now.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah, man. I honestly, why I started my page was I was listening to, I've always wanted to start my page, honestly. But like what really pushed me was I was listening to Africanbadgyals, Africanbadgyal by Wizkid.
That was the song
right?
for the time?
Exactly. Africanbadgyal. Baby, don't change your style. Baby, I love you the way you are. The way you are. And I was just like, and it was just basically saying like African bad girl, whether African descent, like he talked about all different countries within the song as well. It's just like, just be yourself. I'm going to love you. And it's just like, that's how I feel. Like there's so much diversity within our community, whether you're African descent, Afro-American, Afro-European, Afro-Caribbean, Afro-Latino. There's so many different types, but like we all segregate ourselves and we all call ourselves different. But we're all the same. Yes, we have our differences, but we all have one mission, which should be empowering, uplifting each other, and supporting one another, as well as accepting and loving our differences. Whether you believe it or not, you know, we're not all supposed to think the same. Our diversity, our personalities, our perspectives are all what makes Black culture, Black beauty, Black art so amazing. So it's just like I wanted just to show all my African descent sisters that I love them just the way they are.
Oh, I love that. No, and that's so true. There is so much, like we, our own people segregate each other. I remember just like, I feel like, at least when I was in middle school, the thing was to make fun of Haitian people. And it's like, but we're all, why did we think we were better?
Bush village,
Why did we think we were any better? Like, why do we actually separate ourselves like that? It's such like a mind-boggling thing. And I think that's just like, goes back to, the slavery, you know. And it's crazy. My boyfriend always references this book, and it's called How to Make a Slave or How to Create a Slave, and it's just about how you can enslave a group of people. And it talks about how if you get a group of people to call themselves something for long enough, and you call them that, you can get them to call themselves that. Well, niggers, what do we call ourselves in all of our music? Niggas. So we are still enslaved to this day, and we still segregate and separate, and it's just...
And one of the biggest things that we have within our community is colorism. By far. It's like you don't want, it's like, oh, that's why you're so dark. Like, oh, you got a light skin. Oh my gosh. It's like, and that's the thing, even like before I like loved my skin, I never wanted to, I would always be like, yo, like, I wish I was lighter. What could I do? Stay away from the sun. I love white girls. I didn't even know why. But, like, it subconsciously changes your mind. Oh, I want somebody with blue eyes. I don't know why. But, like, that's beauty to me. And like, I'm not.
Oh, my God.
You know?
I went through this same exact thing. Kid you not. This is probably still the truth. Neutrogena is the only company that has 100 SPF. What my little black mind didn't know at the time was that SPF really only means the minutes that you have coverage for until you need to reapply. So if it's 30 SPF, it means 30 minutes until you need to reapply.
Damn.
It's all the same level. So I'm buying this expensive ass SPF 100 thinking it's gonna block anything from making me darker. I was so obsessed with straightening my hair and, you know, literally not going out in the sun, showing up to pool parties with my hair straight and knowing damn well that I was only going to dip into the pool so my hair didn't get curly, so not even sit by the pool, so if someone splashed me then there'd be a patch of curly hair, right? Like, knowing me, I love to swim in pools. I love to just go in and feel like a mermaid. But then I have to worry, and then my white friends don't have the brushes that I need, and just no.
Right, Black women have to go through so much, like, honestly, and that's also the thing that I had to like break out of the cycle, was like thinking Black women were not it because of just like, you know, the stereotypes or just how I saw them or how people may perceive them, and it changes how I see them. It's just like, oh, Black women are aggressive. Black women, they don't care about you. They're like, they just want to look like the Europeans or something. And it's just like, oh, they're loud. Right. Like, you know, and it's just like, yo, like all of these things, all of these traits, they're associated with negative connotations. Right. But like a Black woman being fierce, like, let's use better terms, like fierce, powerful. Like, these are Black women what Black women are, because they know how to express themselves clearly, and they know how to vocalize themselves in a way that resonates in your heart. And you think of it as fear, but they're talking the truth to you, and they're expressing how they feel in the most passionate way possible, honestly, in my opinion. But at the time, or like how most people think, it's like they're lashing out at you, they're angry, they're mad at you. It's just like, oh, don't listen to them. And it's just, and that's also like emotionally, like if a Black woman cries out, it's just like, she's just being, you know, it's just like, ignore them. Trust me. And yeah, exactly. And that's the reason I started my page, because my mother went through the worst of it all. Like, she is an Afro-American Black woman from Brooklyn, New York, and she traveled abroad during her college years. To Senegal, West Africa, met my father. Long story short, she married an African, and she started her schools about 8 to 10 years later, an international school, American accredited school in Senegal, West Africa. And it's doing well now, but before, it was really hard for her to get the love, the support, the encouragement from her own people, and her own people being Africans. Now we have to say, like, African descent people, we're all one people. So it's just like, from her own people, it's just like, oh, just because the culture is different, just because the language is different, and because you're a woman and you're a Black woman, it's like,
no one has done this before, why are you trying to do it? Sit down.
Exactly. And it's just like, they have to face institutional racism and sexism from not only people that are their skin tone, but the people that should see them as the same. Right. And it's disappointing, because it's just like, Black women literally have to work twice as hard just to get half as much results as they ever want, and it's just such an unfair advantage. Seriously. Exactly.
If that ain't the truth.
Exactly. So,
that's the main reason that we are friends, is because he shared his story to me, and to be honest, it might be girls behind pages that are like yours, but it also could be just creepy guys trying to capitalize off of beautiful Black women. So when I heard his story and the real reason, and you can tell here, and just like I did over a phone call, you could just feel the emotion and feel the truth that's behind his why. Exactly. And it's really beautiful.
Exactly, and that's what I'm trying to like broadcast. That's what I'm trying to showcase. I'm trying to vocalize like my why, because a lot of people don't get it, and that's kind of like, they're getting it now, and it's so much easier. I don't even have to speak about it anymore. But before, it was just like I had to really trust and believe in my why, because a lot of people came up to me like, why are you starting your page? Like a lot of people like thought, and it's not wrong, but you know, if you see like a dude, like, you know, starting a page about women, it's just like, most of them are actually just like, you know, creepers or something. So
and I really always respected the way you spoke to me without knowing me. Like, when we first started contacting, like, and I don't think I thought you. I don't think I thought you were any gender. I had no idea who it was. But the way he spoke to me, I felt like either a woman was talking to me or a very nice gentleman who was like calling me like lovely or something. Like it was never like a babe or like a like I don't know like something.
Hey, what's good, sweetheart?
Yeah. Like,
yeah. No. I mean, I try to keep it 100% professional with everybody, and it's just like. I know my sole mission is not to flirt. It's not to like talk to my women. I could go on Tinder for that.
Yeah.
or anything.
I don't know. You got a pretty good selection with the girls you're posting and interacting with.
Yeah, but I mean, I just wouldn't do any of that. I wouldn't jeopardize like the mission behind it. And it's just like I'm talking to you, and I'm strictly talking to you because this is business. This is a partnership. This is a collaboration. We could be friends, but like I just want. Like, because anything more than that could, lead to like a lot of tensions with the business and stuff. So I just want to keep it professional and clean so that everybody, like, treat everybody equally. And it's just like, I know that this is a page supporting beautiful black women, their culture, supporting their businesses. So that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
But, right.
So when did you start Urban Diversity?
A year afterwards.
So explain what Urban Diversity is to the people who don't know.
Okay, Urban Diversity is a clothing line that embraces and it showcases the beauty, the culture, the problems that we face within our community, but also trying to make light of it. Type of clothing, like a lot of. I like to add statements. I like to add quotes. A lot of meaning behind my clothing that empowers African and African descent women. And while wearing clothing that's also fashionable, wearable. But I definitely just want to make this Africanbadgyals like a movement through clothing that speaks for the business, that speaks for black women, that empowers them, that shows that they're beautiful and they could, walk out fiercely. And I have a lot of different clothing, such as my new clothing, the customizable designs, where you design your own clothing. You could put, exactly right here, you know what I'm saying? So like you could put your face. I have a designer that draws a graphic design of yourself, like any portrait photo of yourself, and then you could say what you're unapologetic for. And that's like a big thing with our black community is like you get called out for something. And I actually wanted to put unapologetically a geek because I guess like to some black people can't be geeks. It's weird. It's not cool. It's like it's not black. And it's just like what are you talking about?
What is black? What does that mean?
Right, exactly.
Like why are we putting each other in boxes?
Exactly. Why are we putting ourselves in boxes? So I just want everybody to love themselves just the way they are. Realize that this is your version of black, and hold that tight, love it, self-love, self-worth. That's what the clothing line's about.
That's awesome. Okay, so what does it take to be a community page? Like, what is your setup like? What do you think? Like, I know you just got a new computer. You use your phone heavily.
It's a lot of work. It's definitely hard to be a community page if you don't have any community. Like I started off with 0 followers and I'm telling people, oh, let me shout you out. Like I'm literally adding no benefit to them.
That's such a hard thing to push, right? Because you're worthy, but the numbers don't match up, whatever that means.
Exactly. So you have to, like most people that want a feature, want to see that you have more followers than them, want to see more engagements than them. So it's just like starting off was hard, but literally I would message everyone just like I messaged you, be like, hey, this is Africanbadgyals. It's promoting African descent women in terms of their beauty, culture, and their businesses to a warm and supportive community. Same line, like I memorized that shit. So it's just, right. So it's like people, like, they would be like, oh, that's great. And it was just like I would always talk to them, like talk to people, because the best form of marketing is word of mouth. The best form 100%. Of marketing is your followers. Your like hardcore followers. Yeah. So it's always good to have your day ones that support you. And there was a lot of women have had like 5 to 20K followers, like just giving me photos because they know the mission. They know they want to support it. They understand. Like if you could talk to somebody to the point where they already see your vision as much as you do,
right?
Like they see the mission, they're already working towards that with you. And it's just like, it's always great to have somebody believe that that's their mission as well, because they're going to drive just as much or a little bit less than you are, but they're still driving for you. They're always going to support you.
That's amazing. No, I always say that because I oftentimes find myself speaking very markety to my audience, and I'm literally have to be like, wait, but this is not an ad. I wish I was getting paid, but I just genuinely love the product, and that's what you want. That's what you want, people talking about it when it's not forced, when it's not paid for.
Right. I mean, you have to, like, this is what I would tell everybody as a piece of advice. Do not expect any results. Like, whenever you think, like, all right, if you ever plan something out, you want the results, then don't expect it then. Nothing goes as planned, and it usually goes out worse, because most businesses fail. So what you got to realize is why they're failing, because they're only focused on the marketing. They're failing in terms of finances, but finances is not failing. Like having no money, not getting any revenue, making no profit, that's not failing. And that's what people call failing businesses. No, like literally, it took me so long. It took me like a year to get my first 10K followers. And then afterwards, it blew up. So it's just like during that 10K.
You were investing time, money that you weren't going to see back until the next year.
And it's just like, money is not my purpose.
Right.
Money is not my why. Like, I'm literally trying to support y'all. I'm trying to like show how much I love y'all and like trying to get you guys out there and making an equal playing field. Like, this is what I'm trying to do, break the racial wealth gap. And it's just like, that's my mission, that's my why. I'm not like, and then it's just like, if you have that same mentality, you're not going to see it as failing, if you made money that day or not. You're going to be like, yo, I invested a lot of time. A lot of people, you know, I got the word out. A lot of people are now messing with me in terms of my page and stuff. And it's just like, a lot of more people got my back. And it's just like, it's comforting knowing that you're building a community, you're building a support system that will always be there when you fall. So it's like, always work towards your community is what I would say. Like, work towards, you know, establishing yourself, like talking to people, like spend money to, like, if you spend like $100 on ads or something, like, it's okay if you made 100 followers and no money through it. Like, now you have a new 100 followers on your list. Now it's not, oh, they're just 100 followers. Now what are you going to do with those people? You're going to talk to them, like their posts, you know, post them on your story. Like, I do all of that to make sure, like, I'm seeing you. Like, you're not just a follower.
Right.
Like,
it's not just a customer.
Exactly.
If you pay me, you get it. I mean, when I was on the page the other day, someone was like interested in a package. And I was, you know, selling them the package, and they were like, do I need to give you an extra $5 for the story post that you did for me? I was like, no, that was on us.
Right,
like, you don't need to, I didn't post you and be like, okay, if they message me back, I'm charging up.
Right. So it's just like, I always want to help them out. And that's why I show, like, this is more than just a business. Like, here's something free. Of course, like, why collect money from them? And I could be charging way outside of it. Like, I charge $10 for a page post, a story post. I give you insights.
And did you hit 90,000?
Almost.
Yeah. So it's crazy.
Almost
That's
90,000.
A lot of exposure for that price.
Right.
Like,
exactly. So it's just like, I use a lot of that money to reinvest. I put ads out there. I invest in how much it costs to, like, keep the monthly maintenance fees for the website, or like this new website that I'm creating through Wix. It's not free.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I invest in the page, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't be rich unless you stay broke. Like, if you want to, I always tell people, if you want to be rich, like, act broke. Like, always reinvest your money. Like, what is all this extra spending for? Why are you holding on to this money? What are you spending it on? Reinvest in yourself.
Right.
So it's just like, believe in yourself, believe in your why, and you will, like, money won't even be an issue. Like, I'm broke right now, so what? Like, I know it will get there. I believe in myself. I know, like, I already see myself in the future, like, you know, being that, you know, business that's like created generational wealth towards a lot of black women businesses.
Yes.
And it's just like a lot of black properties, a lot of black businesses, a lot of black community building within neighborhoods. Like I see all of that, and it's just like, that's my why, that's my dream, so I'm going to keep pushing. And I'm seeing all the results, and that's like another thing, I'm sorry. No. But a lot of people, when they're coming up, they see the results and they just like want to settle down, like where they're at, like they get comfortable. It's like, if when I reached my first 10K, like I could have just been like, oh, this is great. I could charge $2 to $3 per post. I'm fine. Like, this is chilling. A lot of people respect me. But don't like take encouragement lightly. Like, okay, this is great. I'm glad that, you know, you support me, but I'm still pushing. Keep pushing. Like, don't ever feel comfortable. Being uncomfortable, stepping outside of your box, doing something different, that's when the growth happens. Exactly.
And it's uncomfortable growth that happens. But we're gonna take a little break because the camera stopped recording, and I gotta drink some water.
All right, cool.
I gotta rip my jewel. So we will be back, but you guys won't even know.
Yep.
Now, okay, you can tell what exactly.
I could tell there was a transition of yours throughout the years. I'm like,
I definitely had a transition.
It's definitely an empowering one. Like, you're definitely loving yourself a lot more, but you're pushing away from the other side. You're just
not
like,
even the dark side, the light side.
Right? You're like, that past me should never exist again.
And it existed for a reason, and that's why I'm here today.
Right.
I'm not regretful of my white boyfriends, but it will not happen again.
And why is that?
So, being with my man now, he is Puerto Rican and black. And he has taught me so much about my culture that I didn't know. I grew up with a mom who's Chinese and Filipino and Spanish, and not even that much in touch with her Spanish side. So, not even that in touch with her Chinese side. So, I basically grew up Filipino. I did not know anything about my black culture. I had no idea what it was, what it meant to be African. I had no idea. And he educated me a lot on it. And I am so thankful for him for doing that, and it made me realize, especially because this is my first relationship that was really real. It was like, I'm questioning how you're going to raise our children. I'm questioning, you know, things that you don't think about when you're just with someone.
Exactly. I feel like as you grow up, you want to have a conversation with those that you can relate with. Yeah. Because you don't have to constantly, like, explain yourself, and you could just have like a smooth conversation. I
also feel like when you're younger, you don't know that those things about yourself to express that to someone else, right? You're not really structured completely into your morals, or you know what you don't like about a person, and what you couldn't stand if someone was this way, if you couldn't be with them because of that, you know.
But yeah, dating white women, I mean, I still do it. I'm not dating anyone right now, but dating white women, I mean, a lot of them are like, they know some stuff. I don't know how to put it, because it's like they will never understand. But like, you know, you could tell when there's an effort being made. Exactly. And I feel like I care for those that, whether you're white or black or Latina or anything, if you have like an effort to try to understand me and like you see me as a human being and like we vibe well, then yes, of course. But like at the same time, you know, there's so much we could talk about. And it's just like, I don't want to, I feel like it's a burden or like kind of weird talking to them about like a lot of my struggles. I feel like it could be overwhelming. You know, I don't want to be like that person that's like sobbing or mourning all the time, like to them, but like I'm just like expressing myself. So I would like somebody that, you know, we could go through it together. Like, we're not just constantly talking about those things, but we're bettering ourselves through it. And like, you understand where I'm coming from, and we can go from there, not like me constantly having to tell you exactly where this stems off from and like why I feel the way I feel.
And the thing is, like you said, they will never know. And like, I now being with him and, you know, whatever happens with us, you know, we're young, whatever, I know now that I want my children to have a black father. And for all of my life, I was so excited to have mixed children. I was like, oh my God, my kids are going to have like green eyes or blue eyes, and they're going to have like curly blonde hair and caramel skin and all the things I wanted to look like and never got. No, I actually want my kids to see their parents like I see Jada and Will. I mean, I always say, in every respect that there is, if what you're doing does not hurt me or anyone I know and love personally, do you? You know what I'm saying? When I expressed this to my best friend who is literally my sister, she is Armenian, so she's from the Caucasus Mountains. She is Caucasian. She was like, well, you don't think it's bad if I have children with her boyfriend now, he's also mixed, but he is black as well. She was like, you don't think I'm robbing my kids of that, history and everything like that. And I was like, no, because what works for you is going to work for you, and our children will be, cousins just the same. You know what I'm saying?
That's also, it's not the struggle that the couple faces as well. That's the only issue. It's the struggles that child would face. And whether you're willing to put up with that challenge as well. Like a mixed child literally has to prove themselves into two communities, because both communities just won't accept them unless they're, oh, you're not black unless you do this, unless you act like this, like, oh, you're just mixed. Like, literally everybody says, oh, Obama's black, but they would not see a mixed person because he proved himself. So it's just like they have to go through that struggle because people see them as mixed first.
I say that all the time. I was never black enough, and I was also never Asian enough. Like, I hold myself, I don't know, people say I speak white, but I articulate myself well, and I've had since a very young age. I was like, unless we're about to fucking fight, the queens will come out of me, but like, I'm not really like that. So everyone would be like, oh, you're black, but you talk white, you're an Oreo, you're this, you're that. So I wasn't black enough, and then I had long hair, which like never made black girlfriends that way. So was not black enough, and obviously I don't look Asian enough. So it was so hard for me growing up that way. And that's also something I said to her. I referenced my godbrothers, and I was like, one of my godbrothers, like when he was asked at school what he literally said he was white. And that breaks my heart. Half of him is not white. Half of him is so much more. And like, the fact that he has to go through that, it hurts me. The fact that they have to choose a side too. It's like, oh no. It's like, oh, you're mixed. No, I'm black. Oh, you're mixed. No, I'm white. It's like it's like mixed is the culture itself, but it's not. It's like I'm composed of these two, and it's like they always have to like explain themselves. It's like, oh, you're mixed. Sometimes it's like even a good thing. It's like, oh, you're mixed. You're mixed with what? And then you hear, oh, I'm just black and white. They're like, oh, and then it loses you're not exotic anymore. It's like, why do people see mixed people as exotic? It's like you don't I get
see
called
them.
exotic all the time,
Exactly.
bro.
And
just call me beautiful.
Right. It takes away from like the human in them.
Yeah, I saw a post the other day. I don't know if it was you who posted it, but it was like someone tweeted, and I was like, can we talk about beautiful black women without using chocolate as a word?
Yeah.
Just maybe?
Right.
And then I was like, I do it too. I was like, stop it, because I always say it, but I say it in a loving and endearing way, but when you really think about it, it's like, that's all we get called. I've been told you're the darkest I'll go, and my little high school ass was like, oh, thanks. Like, no, ew, like, get out.
You're handsome and dark skinned. Like, what? I'm like, is that
is
like
that an
amazing?
anomaly? Like, is that not? Because I'm pretty sure I know a lot of dark black men who are attractive and handsome and beautiful.
That. And it's just like it changes their perspective of themselves. Right. It's just like, oh, like
Tyrese Gibson ain't the only one. I'll tell you that right now. He ain't the only one.
Right. So.
But when we came back from our break, I just wanted to touch on that, see how you felt. I'm all about anyone dating whoever they want. I'm mixed myself, so I wouldn't have happened unless that happened. Yeah. So obviously I'm accepting of everyone, but I think for my kids it's going to be different.
Because you got to teach them both cultures. You can't just choose one.
Yeah,
and
that's
you have
true.
to make them accept it and know how. Because it's like at the same time they are one culture as well. So you have to like embrace. You have to accept both sides in order to accept yourself. And it's like at the same time, because you're two cultures. Because I am bicultural, by the way. I'm African and African descent. So it's like African descent, Afro-American. My African side is Senegalese, West African. So it's just like you have to understand both takes on things, both perspectives. You literally, and it's like hard because at the same, like what I went through was in high school, I literally left America for the first time and went to Senegal, West Africa, and I was told, hey, this is your other culture. This is your other half. And I thought I found myself. And it's just like, no, like you can't be complete unless you get both perspectives, both sides, both cultures. And you don't have to like, accept everything about them.
Right.
But at least understand your personal history.
Yeah, where you're from.
Exactly. And a lot of parents, it's hard for them to incorporate both of them because, I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's either one or the other for real.
It's true. I mean, yeah, if all goes well, we will have Filipino, Chinese, West African, freaking Puerto Rican. So we're going to have a lot of cultures within ourselves. So that's why I say, this is not me being, I'm fully fluid in in my idea, but I would love for my children's father to even have just a little bit. Just a little bit.
So I would just say, like, having different cultures is not a bad thing. But at the same time, like, if you're raising a child, you have to understand that you have to put a lot more effort into, like, their identity if they have more than one culture. Because one culture is easy to understand.
I'm so sorry. That wasn't my dogs, guys. There was a dog in this apartment building barking, and then they got mine all riled up. So let me scold my children. All right. Give me top 3 weirdest situations or DMs you've gotten through Africanbadgyals.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I literally understand how it is to be a black woman on social media.
Via social media.
Because everybody sees me as a black woman running my page. So it's like I get a lot of creepy DMs like, hey babe, like, is this you? Like, it's like...
Knock, knock. Is this really you?
Right? Like, what are you doing later tonight? I'm like, you literally don't even know me. And it's like, why am I thinking? Like, I literally put my perspective in, like, a woman, like, damn, like...
You don't even know me?
Right? And it's just like, they think they're smooth, and I feel bad. It's like, it actually, like, it helps with my game.
True, because you're like, damn, if I pull this one out, I'll not be answering
like,
this DM.
Sometimes they smooth as hell.
Give me a smooth one.
They be like, hey girl, I know I don't know you like that, but I'm really willing to like get to understand you inside and out. I know you more than what's behind the page. I know you all this and that. Some emojis everywhere. And smooth.
Emojis everywhere.
I'm like, yo, you're sweet, but I'm straight. Straight. I'm not like, I don't even say, I just delete. But, I'll be reading them because it's funny. Yeah. But yeah, so I definitely face a lot of those. If anything, I'm like a superwoman in social media because a lot of them, it's like I have all those followers. So I'm like the target woman. That they go for. They're like, oh, this woman's ambitious. Like, she's really
got shit going. She really got her shit going on.
Right. So it's funny, and it's just like once they find out it's a man running the page, it's just like they get freaked out. They think their whole life is a lie.
Questioning their sexuality. Right. You didn't even know, bro. It's okay. Like,
right.
no.
They're like, I loved you. And I'm like, what? Yo, some guys be creeps, yo. They really be loving whoever they have never met before. And that comes with, like, fandom and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's just like...
That happened way before Instagram was a thing, sweetie.
Right,
People were catfishing for wow. People thought they were talking to Bow Wow for wow.
Right, I'm just like, it's hilarious, but, you know, I know they mean no harm. Just delete. Or sometimes when they harm, block. Like, stay away from my followers.
Sometimes when they slide I've gotten a dick pic through the page.
Yeah, so it's just like, you don't, because they could be messaging girls that I post like that. So that's just like block. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's sad, and it's like a lot of white DMs from white dudes.
I've only got white dick pics, random white dicks, and I'm like,
hello,
no.
My African Nubian queen.
Thank you.
My chocolate princess.
With that, goodbye.
Right. I'm trying to rule the world with you. Like, I'll be your king. You'll be my African queen. I'm just like, yo, why you gotta like label me all the time?
Right.
So it's just like, damn, yo. But you know, it comes with the job. to just put it bluntly, it just comes with the job. It just comes with it. You know, you learn to ignore it. So you know, props for all black women out there that get creepy DMs. Like, y'all just immune to it at this point. It's just like, oh, okay. For me, it's just something I have to deal with through the business field, and something, you know, black women have to face every day.
Yeah.
Comes with it.
Comes with it. All right. Last question for you.
All right.
I feel like we could talk forever. Well, I'll be back. You'll have to come to Connecticut. We'll do something. We'll figure it out.
Definitely gonna come.
But when did you start making money? How did you start making money? And was it always something you knew you could do?
Honestly, I didn't even know. All right, let me backtrack a little bit. Mm-hmm. When you're starting a business, a lot of people think about profiting and stuff, or like understanding the business itself before you start something. I just had the passion for it. I just had a passion for supporting my black sisters, but I didn't know anything about black women culture. I didn't know about black women beauty products or anything. It's just like, I didn't know like really how to like showcase, but like what you have to have is the drive. And like through the drive, you're going to be like, your business is new too. Your business is learning, you're learning, you are your business. So it's just like along the way, you're going to be learning a lot of things, and that's what you have to trust, the journey. You have to trust the process. And then afterwards, you're going to make a lot of money. But you have to be patient and be consistent. But you said, when did I start making money?
Yeah.
It took like I would say a year when I reached like 10K, because once you reach 10K followers, you could...
Heaven's Gate opens.
Yeah.
They're really open for you once you hit 10K. And like 10K a while ago was even bigger than it is now, but I still feel like 10K really puts you on the map.
It puts you on the map, man. And because you could also put website links, which is huge for shout-out pages like myself.
Yeah. Because
a lot of them want to include their own websites to their business shout-out. But yeah, definitely 10K, but let me see.
Like a year?
Yeah, it took like a year, but like I would say it was hard to get people, even with 10K, like people with 8K or 16K, they wouldn't really believe in like results and stuff. So it's just like a lot of the people were, and that's the thing, a lot of people don't buy into things because of the cost of it or what they'll get out of it. A lot of people do it to support you. Yeah. So it's like you have to... A lot of people shy away of giving their prices, of telling them what it's used for, like going about the whole, hey, I have 10K, I know that's a little, like don't even say that. I know, like I know I won't be of much benefit to you. It's like, no,
because, hello, like what are the odds that my 10K follows are your 8K? You know what I mean? That could be a whole nother 10,000 people, new eyes.
So invest in the mission. Like have people invest in you so that they don't see money as so much of a problem. Because everybody knows in business, money is the biggest step back. Pricing is like the hardest thing to tackle. Like pricing everything, you always changing prices because of people's demands and stuff. But people's demand for your product or your services is really based off of how much they love or support and want to show that for you. I mean, of course, I deliver results. I always want to, like, if I don't think I went hard enough, I'll even give you another post to show, like, oh, I'm sorry for that little setback. I'm sorry that I didn't get you at like the best time, but here you go. So always try to accommodate with people. But I would definitely say 10K is when I really started picking up traffic. Now for my urban diversity page, like literally my first clothing that I made no sales after the first 6 months, and then it became 8 months, and then a year with no sales. And it was just like, damn, it's discouraging. But you have to realize most business models, most business plans, they fail. So you got to learn from your failures. Like, I thought it was the best thing. It really looks crappy if I showed you.
For the first,
The first one, it was Know Your Worth with bees, and it was like a graphic designer that did it from India, and it was pretty trash. But you got to learn from your mistakes, and that's the thing. Like, it's not about failing. It's what you learn through it. Like, don't take anything out of it. Like, always take something out of it.
Right.
You know, so it's just like I started making different designs, found my perfect designer that really understands my mission, does as many revisions as possible. I was actually able to pick up traffic. But for the most part, like my clothing line, it's doing pretty well, but it's not as successful as Africanbadgyals because I don't put a lot of time into it. And that's where Renny comes in.
Yes, we didn't even talk about that.
Right. That's where Renny comes in. I spent a lot of time into urban diversity, but it's like I run a service page as well that has a lot of people to accommodate for, as well as working a clothing line. It could be really hard because it's like you got to manage both pages. Right. So it's like
shout out your other job too. What else do you do?
I also work at T-Mobile. So you know, sales lead there. You know what's up. It's good, but it's hard. So it's just like there's a point in the business's life where you just gotta realize, like, you know, you're efficient, you're doing everything by yourself as hard as you can, but you just can't do anymore.
Yeah, you just can't do it all.
Right. So it's just like you have to and then that's the hardest thing as well after that, which wasn't so hard for me, was finding somebody that, you know, sees the mission as much as you do, that isn't so pressed about, you know, the money aspect, but like wants to, like, sees the future, sees the motivation, sees where it could be, the potential of it, and like wants to move this this business like together. Like that's amazing. And I just looked at Renny and I was like, hey, you wanna? I kind of was hesitant about it, but then she was just like, yeah, what's up? Like, I've been waiting for this.
For sure.
So like,
No, and the way we work is great, and I saw the potential in you, and I also saw the fact that you have no, like, you know, the companies that I work with and I charge all the time for all of my work with are people that either have investors or, you know, adults, like full grown adults with families, with homes, with mortgages, so you can pay me, you know what I mean? I saw the vision, and I saw a young Black person that I wanted to collaborate with, have him help me, have me help him. Like, it just seemed like a great opportunity because I saw the potential, and it continues to grow literally daily. Like,
exactly. And that's the thing, you have to move. If you want to go like fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And that's the thing, like, you really have to build your community that you want to go with. Like, I already see that I want to be I want to have a voice. I want to be this like monumental leader that changes the world and has a ripple effect towards the community at large. But like, I do not want to just like turn around like once I get there and I see nobody. You know, like, I want to come up with people. And that's what Black businesses, some of them fail to realize. It's like once you get there, it gets really lonely. So it's just like you want to get there with some people that like really back you, and you'll go far that way. And it's just like they understand me, they know like the struggles that we faced, and like now we could like appreciate, and now we could like share the benefits, the riches that came with it.
Yeah,
exactly. So it's just like, you know, find somebody that's not all about like what I could get now through you. Like have somebody that's like, yo, like, what could I do? Like, like that's the first thing. That's like, that's the only thing. Now, whatever comes of it, awesome. But like, I'm here for it. And with that, you have to have trust. And I'm glad you trust me.
Yeah. And before that too, just so you guys know a little bit of backstory, I was a brand ambassador for, I feel like, at least a year before I started working with Urban Diversity. So yeah, we've been working with each other for a couple of years now, and it's been great. But I can't believe this happened. I feel like we talked about this loosely last year, like me coming to Maryland.
This is the first time we're linking up.
Literally, like, we probably hung out for maybe 20-30 minutes before the camera started rolling. This is just us.
Yeah, you know, we're just comfortable with each other at this point.
So it was great to finally meet you in person.
Of course. Same here. She's a lot taller than I thought.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's
like,
interesting.
Wow.
Because
I thought you were going to be like, because a lot of people that take photos online, on Instagram, it's like face up photos.
Oh, I don't
makes
need
you
to
look
do
taller.
that.
So I was expecting something, but she's actually a tall, beautiful black woman.
Thank you.
That was nice to see.
That's so funny you say that, because I've never heard that before. Because I mean, like, I've always hated my height, like when I was younger, because girls just grow faster. So when you're gonna be a tall girl, like when you're gonna be a tall woman, you just like supersede everyone until high school, you know?
Right.
So I always hated my height, and then all the guys that I thought were cute were all short. I did that little short guy thing for a while, but
I was the short dude.
You're not no. You want to see the short dudes I did?
No, it was
talking about like 5'4".
Okay.
Talking about like.
No, I'm just saying it took a while for me to hit puberty. Like.
How tall are you? You're like.
I'm 5'11.5.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm almost 6 foot.
Like that's like that's above average. That's above average for height for sure. Yeah. No. Yeah, I did the whole short guy thing for a while, but.
Pick me up.
Yeah. There's someone for everyone. There's tall guys out there for you tall women out there. Trust me, someone will make you feel small. It's nice. That's all I ever wanted. I was like, I just want to feel small.
I know, right? You know, my mom wants to feel big, and she is taller than my dad, so it works out.
and that literally works too. Like, it's all about preference, personal preference. But thank you for being here.
Thank you, Renny.
Oh my gosh, we dropped the mic. But we're basically done.
Nah, we just dropped the mic like
that. We dropped the mic
exactly,
like that.
Literally, unintentionally.
But I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was one of my longest podcasts I've done thus far, because we're really new into the podcast game.
Right, yeah.
But expect a lot of podcasts from me. Africanbadgyals is starting its own podcast.
Renny's starting her own podcast. We're starting a website called Africanbadgyals.com. It will launch next week. It will feature all the podcasts from African and African descent women podcasters. So you're going to see a lot from her, a lot from me, and a lot from other people. So stay tuned to that. Follow African Bad Gals and Urban Diversity, or check out the website, urbandiversity.com. Diversity with a C in it, so CITY. It's a play on words.
And then also yourself.
Yeah. I mean, that's the problem that I usually have, is like I've always been separating myself from my business, which is why a lot of people think I'm a woman. But I'm starting to incorporate myself. It's mostly because I don't want to take away from my women, so it's just like I don't want to showcase myself all the time like a black man. Like that's defeats the purpose. But
they just listen to you for almost an hour and a half, so they might want to find you.
Exactly. So at Third Culture Guy, that's my personal page. Third Culture stands for just being young. A lot of people are young and they travel the world a lot. So a lot of people, their identity is you're constantly trying to find your identity through different backgrounds. It could be from different states as well, I would say. But like constantly traveling, starting new and stuff, it makes you see the world differently. So Third Culture Guy is my name.
Oh, I like that. I never knew that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. And what about you?
Oh, I'm at Renny Hunter Fit, Renny Hunter on YouTube. If you're coming from Africanbadgyals, seeing this video, Urban Diversity, his page, hi, I'm Renny. I do the fitness stuff, I do the wellness stuff, I do literally everything. I talk about everything, but yeah.
She's awesome, by the way, so follow her. You're going to see a lot from her. We're actually thinking of starting sportswear, activewear soon.
Yes.
Because she's awesome, and she definitely represents her brands that she also does very well. So you're going to see a lot more from Urban Diversity, especially since the weather's getting nicer.
Yes, for sure. So I hope you guys enjoyed. You can find us all down below. I'll have linked everything down below. But until next time, I will see you next time.
Peace.